to be paid with 6% annual interest when you finish school. Write an equation for the amount of interest you will owe after 2 years. Okay, so grab my here. So we have the amount of interest that we'll owe in T years would be however much interest you're going to pay per year, which we're going to have to figure out, times the number of years that you owe. So for instance, if it was $300 a year for 4 years, 4 times 300, $1,200. So that's the idea. So we know that we're borrowing $4,000 and we're going to pay 6% on that. So 0.06. Just remember, when we're working with percentages, 6%, we go 2 places to the left to change to a decimal to do math with it. So then 6% of 4,000 would be $240. So that means our equation here, big I, would equal $240 times T, or the number of years that you owe the money. And so then for this next part, what it's having you do is just fill in this table. So if T is 1 year, 1 times 240 would be 240. So this right here should be 240. And then here it's asking you to write this as T comma I. And what they're doing is they're trying to get you to see you're putting in 1 year for T and you're getting out $240. And that you're writing that as an ordered pair where this is your input and this is your output. We'll do lots with ordered pairs are all over the place in math. So this is just kind of an intro to that idea. And then here you're just going to plug in 3. So 3 times 240 would be 244 to 70, $720. And then this would be 3 comma 720. So that's the idea of that. And then for this last part, I'll grab my mouse for a second. It's just asking you to plot these points. And so you'll use the dot and plot the 3 points that you came up with right here, and then draw a line through them. So let me just kind of help you out with the scale, and then the rest of it is just plot and draw. So we're trying to graph 1 and 240 for this first point. And so notice that they're counting every other line. So, you know, if this is 0, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So for 1, we'd be right here. And then 2 boxes is 480. So if you divide 480 by 2, you get that this one is 240. So that means even though they're not labeled, when when T is 1, I is 240. So your first dot would go right there. And then when T was 3, I think it was 720. And so then that would go, oops, right there. And then so on and so forth, draw a line through at the end. Just make sure it's all looking right. Yep, that is all looking right. I think that's it. And then you just, do the same thing with 6. So that is how that one goes.